There is something profound about the stillness that settles over you during the night. It's as if, after the day's noise fades away, a certain quietness takes its place, a quietness that feels almost too deep, too peaceful. But within that silence, there is a presence, a subtle shift you can feel in your soul. You wake up, and although you may not fully understand it, you feel something has changed, something has shifted. It might be a strange sense of awareness, a feeling that you are no longer the same person you were when you fell asleep. Maybe you've noticed symbols in your dreams, fleeting images, or sentences that you can't quite remember but can't seem to forget. These symbols feel like fragments of something important, as if your mind has been touched by a message far beyond your conscious understanding. You've had dreams that seem almost too vivid, too significant to just be the product of your imagination. Perhaps you've seen water flowing in places it shouldn't be, or serpents slithering through the shadows. Perhaps doors, unexplainable and often appearing out of nowhere, have appeared in your sleep, and when you wake, you find yourself asking, what did it all mean? At times, you may have even found yourself waking up with a strange, lingering thought or a sentence echoing in your mind, something you didn't remember hearing in the dream, yet it resonates so deeply within your spirit. These moments can be disorienting, even frustrating, especially when your logical mind can't grasp their significance. But here's the truth that many people miss. These dreams are not by accident. You are not dreaming simply because your brain needs a break from the chaos of the day. Heaven does not waste vision. Every dream you have is carefully placed, and every image, symbol, or sentence that enters your mind during your sleep is intentionally designed. God speaks to us through dreams, often in ways that our conscious minds cannot immediately comprehend. Just like a messenger who delivers an encrypted message, dreams serve as a channel through which divine wisdom is passed to us, bypassing the distractions and limitations of our waking state. We live in a world that often overlooks or dismisses the importance of dreams. For many, dreams are simply stories their minds concoct while they sleep, a random collection of thoughts and emotions stitched together by the subconscious. But to those who are awake in the spirit, dreams are much more. They are sacred, divine communications, encrypted messages that reveal God's heart and guidance for your life. The Bible speaks of God communicating with his people through dreams and visions. Joseph, one of the great biblical dreamers, received divine instructions through dreams that set the course for his destiny. In the New Testament, God used dreams to guide the Magi away from Herod's evil plans and warned Joseph to flee to Egypt with Mary and the baby Jesus. These dreams were not random, they were carefully orchestrated divine encounters. And just like Joseph and the Magi, you, too, are part of this divine pattern. When you dream, you are not simply letting your mind wander through a landscape of random thoughts. No, you are receiving divine messages, tailored specifically for you. Messages that have the power to guide your steps, to shift the atmosphere of your life, and to awaken your spirit to the higher calling God has placed upon you. But in order to fully understand and interpret these dreams, you must first awaken to the reality that God is speaking to you through them. So, as you lay in bed tonight, or as you go about your day reflecting on the dreams you've had, understand this: you are not alone in this journey. God is actively speaking to you. You've been chosen to hear, to see, to understand the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of your sleep. The purpose of this video is to help you unlock these mysteries. In the next moments, we will uncover the 7 dreams that God uses to communicate to his chosen ones, even when they are unaware of it. These dreams are not just symbols or random images, they are divine blueprints, guiding you through the unseen realms and aligning your spirit with God's perfect timing. But before we dive into the specifics of these dreams, it's important to realize something crucial. This is not just a topic of curiosity. If you're here, if you're watching this video right now, it's not by accident. It's a divine appointment. Your spirit has been stirred, and this is the confirmation you've been waiting for. You are under divine instruction. Your awareness of these dreams, and your desire to understand them, is not just a passing thought, it is part of a divine awakening happening within you. You are being called to decode these messages, to see beyond the veil of your conscious mind, and to step into a new level of spiritual understanding. This is not just about uncovering symbols. This is about activating your spirit, sharpening your discernment, and awakening your soul to the deeper purposes God has for your life. And as we explore these 7 dreams, I encourage you to pay close attention. Each moment, each dream, each symbol is a part of a greater divine picture. Miss one moment, and you may miss a code meant to unlock your next breakthrough. These are not just dreams, they are messages that, when understood, can guide you into the fullness of your divine destiny. So, if you're ready to see your dreams in a new light, if you're ready to awaken even in your sleep, then join me as we uncover the 7 dreams God uses to speak to you. These dreams will never look the same again after you understand their purpose. They are not random, they are carefully placed divine appointments, each one carrying a key to your next season of breakthrough. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at sleep the same way again. Water has always been a powerful symbol in both the physical and spiritual realms. When you dream of water, you are not simply encountering an element from nature, you are being presented with a divine language, one that speaks directly to your soul. The water in your dreams carries with it more than just fluidity. It holds deep meaning, offering you glimpses into your emotional state, your spiritual journey, and your alignment with God's will. To truly understand the messages God is sending you, it's essential to look beyond the surface of the water and recognize the spiritual depths it is inviting you to explore. In the Bible, water is often used as a symbol of purity, renewal, and life itself. Jesus, for example, speaks of the living water that he offers to those who thirst. John 4:10. Water, in this context, is not just a physical substance, it's a representation of the life-giving force of God's presence. When you encounter water in your dreams, it is more than just a random image. It is a reflection of your spiritual condition, a message from God meant to guide you. This isn't just a fleeting thought from your subconscious. It's a divine communication, calling you to examine the state of your soul and your relationship with the Creator. Water in dreams can manifest in many forms, each carrying its own message. It could be a calm, peaceful lake or a turbulent, stormy sea. It could be crystal clear or murky and dirty. Every variation holds its own spiritual significance, providing insights into your emotional landscape and your connection with God. By understanding the language of water, you can unlock the spiritual guidance hidden within your dreams and gain clarity about your path forward. One of the most common water-related dreams is that of drowning. If you have ever dreamed of being pulled under by the water, struggling to breathe, or finding yourself overwhelmed by the sheer force of it, you are likely experiencing an emotional struggle in your waking life. Drowning in a dream does not signify physical danger. Rather, it speaks to the emotional currents that are weighing you down. It reflects feelings of being overwhelmed, out of control, or consumed by emotions you may have been avoiding or neglecting. This dream could be God's way of drawing your attention to unresolved pain or buried feelings. You may have wounds from past experiences, pain from relationships, disappointments, fears that you have yet to fully confront. These emotions are rising to the surface, seeking acknowledgement and healing. Drowning in water is a reminder that you cannot ignore what is beneath the surface. Just as water covers the earth, your emotions are covering your soul, and God is urging you to face them head-on. If you find yourself drowning in the dream, it's essential to reflect on what is causing you to feel submerged. Is there a specific emotional burden you've been carrying? A relationship that's draining you? Or an unresolved situation that needs to be addressed? The message is clear. God is calling you to acknowledge the emotional weight you've been carrying, to seek healing, and to allow His cleansing water to wash over you. You do not need to face these struggles alone. Just as God calms the stormy seas in the Bible, He is ready to calm the emotional turbulence within your soul. On the other hand, calm waters in your dreams symbolize alignment with God's will. If you've dreamed of serene, still water, this is a powerful sign that you are in harmony with God's plan for your life. You may be at peace with where you are spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. The stillness of the water reflects the peace that comes from trusting in God's timing and direction. Calm waters represent a state of spiritual alignment, where you are flowing with God's purpose for you. It is a reminder that when you walk in obedience, When you surrender your will to God's, you can experience peace and tranquility, even amidst external chaos. The waters in your dream are showing you that you are not fighting against the current but are moving with the divine flow of God's will. This is a moment to rest in the assurance that you are exactly where you need to be and that God is guiding you step by step. However, it's important to understand that this calmness does not imply that life is without challenges. It simply means that, despite the external noise or turbulence, your inner peace remains unshaken. Just as a still lake reflects the sky above it, your soul is reflecting the peace of God's presence. If you encounter calm waters in your dreams, take a moment to thank God for His guidance and trust that you are being led exactly where you need to go. While calm waters may signify alignment, wild and stormy waters in your dreams are not a sign of danger, but rather a symbol of transition. When you dream of turbulent seas, crashing waves, or surging currents, it often represents a period of change in your life. Just as a storm stirs up the waters, a major shift is taking place in your spiritual or emotional journey. The storm is a necessary part of the transition. It's the process of cleansing, purging, and preparing you for something new. God uses these turbulent waters to shake loose the old patterns, beliefs, or attachments that no longer serve you. It is not meant to destroy you, but to cleanse and reshape you. Just as a storm transforms the landscape, God is working to reshape your life. The stormy water is pushing you forward, driving you toward new opportunities, deeper spiritual growth, and a closer walk with God. It's important to remember that, when faced with these stormy waters, you are not in danger. You may feel disoriented or unsure, but God is in control of the storm. The waves crashing around you are not meant to harm you, they are meant to propel you into the next phase of your journey. Trust in God's sovereignty during this time of transition, and know that He is with you through every wave and every gust of wind. The storm will pass, and you will emerge stronger, with a deeper understanding of your purpose. The key to unlocking the full meaning of water dreams lies in reflecting on how you react to the water in your dream. Water, as a symbol, is not just an external force, it is also a reflection of your inner state. Are you running from it, trying to escape the flood of emotions or spiritual challenges? Are you attempting to control the flow, refusing to surrender to God's will? Or are you letting the water carry you, trusting that God will guide you through the currents of life? Your reaction to the water in your dream is a mirror of your relationship with God. It speaks to your willingness to face your emotions, to trust God in the midst of transition, and to surrender your will to His. The dream is not just a symbol of what's happening around you, it is a reflection of what is happening within you. Are you at peace with God's plan, or are you struggling against it? Are you ready to let go and let the water carry you, or are you fighting the flow? The next time you dream of water, take a moment to reflect on your reaction. Ask yourself, what is God trying to show me through this water? What is He asking me to let go of, and what is He inviting me to embrace? Your response to the water in your dreams can reveal much about where you are on your spiritual journey and how you can align more fully with God's will for your life. When a serpent slithers into your dreams, it often carries with it a sense of unease and discomfort. Serpents have long been symbols of danger and deception, and in the spiritual realm, they serve as coded messages, alerting you to hidden threats that may be lurking around you. But these dreams are not meant to frighten you. Rather, they are an invitation to open your eyes and recognize the spiritual battles taking place around you. God uses the image of the serpent to warn you of subtle spiritual forces that could be at work, often in ways you may not immediately recognize. In the Bible, the serpent represents more than just a physical creature. It is often a symbol of temptation, deceit, and the forces of evil working behind the scenes. From the serpent in the Garden of Eden, who deceived Eve into eating the forbidden fruit, to the serpent in the wilderness that was used to heal the Israelites, Numbers 21:4-9, serpents have always played a significant role in spiritual warfare. When you encounter a serpent in your dreams, you are being warned of a potential spiritual threat, something that is trying to deceive you, lead you astray, or cause you to question your faith. The serpent's appearance is a call to discernment. It is a reminder that not all is as it seems. Just as the serpent in the Garden of Eden appeared harmless and even enticing, the spiritual dangers around you may not always be obvious. They may come disguised as opportunities, relationships, or situations that seem innocent at first, but carry hidden dangers. The serpent in your dream is urging you to look deeper, to seek God's guidance, and to be cautious of anything that could lead you off the path God has set for you. When you dream of being bitten by a serpent, it is important to understand that the bite represents more than just an attack. It symbolizes an emotional or spiritual wound. Being bitten by a serpent in a dream reveals that there is something in your life that is poisoning your spirit. This could be a harmful relationship, a toxic situation, or a lie that you have unknowingly believed. The venom in the serpent's bite is not physical, it is emotional or spiritual poison that seeps into your soul and affects the way you think, feel, and behave. The dream of a serpent bite can be a wake-up call, revealing areas of your life that have been compromised by hidden sin, deceit, or spiritual attack. It is not meant to condemn you, but to bring your attention to the fact that something needs to be healed. The poison of the serpent's bite could be fear, jealousy, bitterness, or unforgiveness, things that are quietly eroding your peace and hindering your spiritual growth. This dream invites you to examine the areas of your life where you may be holding on to negative emotions or allowing unhealthy influences to have power over you. The location of the snake bite in your dream holds significant meaning and provides further insight into the specific areas of your life that are under attack. If the snake bites your hand, it signifies an attack on your calling or your ability to act according to God's will. Your hands are often associated with what you do, your work, your service, and the tasks that God has assigned you. A bite on the hand in a dream suggests that there may be forces attempting to hinder your ability to fulfill your purpose or to undermine the work you are doing for God. It's a reminder to protect your calling and to stay focused on the divine assignments that God has placed in your hands. If the snake bites your foot, this indicates that your spiritual path is being threatened. Your feet represent the direction in which you are walking, the journey that God has called you to take. A bite on the foot suggests that there may be something or someone trying to redirect your path, causing you to stumble or lose your way. This could be a temptation, distraction, or deception that leads you away from God's perfect plan for your life. The dream is a prompt to examine whether you are being led astray or whether there are influences in your life that are preventing you from walking in the direction God has set for you. While the serpent may seem like a symbol of fear and danger, it also holds the potential for victory. In dreams, if you are able to kill the serpent or overcome it in some way, this signifies spiritual victory. Killing the serpent is not just an act of self-defense, it represents silent deliverance. It is a sign that, even in your sleep, your spirit is fighting battles on your behalf. The serpent is a spiritual enemy, but your ability to defeat it, even in the dream world, reveals that you have been given the authority to overcome the forces that seek to harm you. This victory in the dream is not a physical battle, it is an internal one. It represents the power of your discernment, the strength of your faith, and the authority that God has given you over the enemy. When you defeat the serpent, you are declaring that you will not be controlled by fear, lies, or deception. You are affirming that no weapon formed against you will prosper, and that the enemy cannot have power over your life unless you allow it. The victory in the dream serves as a reminder that you are more than a conqueror in Christ, and that no matter what spiritual threats may arise, you have been equipped to overcome them. One of the key lessons in dreaming of serpents is the importance of discernment. The serpent does not always appear in obvious forms. It may come disguised as a friend, an opportunity, or a seemingly harmless situation. It's easy to dismiss the warnings in your dreams and continue on with life, but this dream is urging you to look beyond the surface. Discernment is the ability to see through the deception and to recognize the true nature of things. It requires you to rely on God's wisdom and guidance, especially when the enemy tries to mask his attacks in ways that seem appealing or harmless. To be spiritually discerning is to remain aware of the subtle ways in which the enemy operates. It's about recognizing the warning signs, the small betrayals, the subtle manipulations, the moments when something feels off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. The serpent in your dream is showing you where these threats exist in your life, and it is calling you to sharpen your spiritual radar. Trust in God's ability to reveal the truth to you, and don't be afraid to ask Him for clarity when something feels wrong. The more you align yourself with God's truth, the better equipped you will be to spot the serpents that try to sneak into your life, and to stand firm in your authority as a chosen one. When a door appears in your dream, it is much more than just a physical object. It is a powerful spiritual symbol, one that marks a threshold between the current season of your life and the new one that God is leading you into. A door in a dream signifies a point of transition, a moment where something in your life is about to shift. It represents an opening, an invitation to move forward, to step into a new dimension of your calling and purpose. But as with all divine symbols, the meaning of a door in your dream can vary greatly depending on how the door appears and what happens when you approach it. Understanding the significance of the door in your dream is key to discerning God's will for your life and the steps you need to take to fulfill His plan. A door in a dream is often a symbol of change. When you dream of a door, you are standing at the edge of a spiritual threshold, a place where God is calling you to step out of your comfort zone and into a new season. Just as a door separates one room from another, a dream of a door marks a transition from one phase of your life to another. The door may signify a shift in your spiritual life, a new opportunity in your career, or a change in a relationship. Whatever the case may be, the door is a reminder that God is working to move you forward. In the Bible, doors are often used as metaphors for spiritual access. Jesus speaks of Himself as the door, saying, "I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved." John 10:9. This imagery reminds us that doors are not just physical entry points, they are spiritual gateways. When God shows you a door in your dream, it is an invitation to step into something new that He has prepared for you. However, it's important to remember that the door does not open on its own. You must choose to walk through it. The question is not whether the door will open, but whether you are ready to walk through it with faith, obedience, and trust in God's timing. When you dream of an open door, it is a sign that an opportunity is within your reach. God is revealing a pathway to a new opportunity, a new calling, or a new season in your life. However, while an open door may look inviting, it is important to remember that with every opportunity comes a test of obedience. The open door is not a guarantee that everything will be easy or without challenge. In fact, walking through the open door often requires faith and courage. God may be calling you to take a step into the unknown, to trust Him in a way that feels uncomfortable or uncertain. The open door may represent a new job, a new relationship, or a new ministry opportunity. But stepping through it will require you to leave behind what is familiar. It will test your willingness to surrender your own plans and submit to God's will. Just as the Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 16-9, "For a great door and effectual is opened unto me, and there are many adversaries." The open door brings blessings, but it also comes with challenges. The question is whether you will trust God enough to walk through it. On the other hand, locked doors in your dreams are not a sign of rejection, but a sign of God's protection and preservation. When you encounter a locked door in your dream, it is important to understand that God may be keeping you from entering a situation or making a decision that you are not yet ready for. While it may feel like a delay or even a disappointment, a locked door is God's way of saying, "Not yet." He is protecting you from something that could harm you or derail your purpose. There are times in life when we feel the urge to push forward, to take matters into our own hands, and to force doors open. But God's timing is perfect, and He knows when we are truly ready for what lies beyond the door. A locked door is a sign that God is preserving you, ensuring that you are fully prepared for what's to come. It may also be a reminder that you are in a season of preparation, learning, growing, and being refined, so that when the door does open, you are ready to step into it with confidence. While a locked door is a sign of God's preservation, a broken door in your dream signals spiritual attack or sabotage. When you encounter a door that is broken, damaged, or forcibly opened in your dream, it often represents an attack on your life's purpose or calling. The enemy is trying to gain access to areas of your life that are meant to remain protected, to disrupt the plans God has for you. A broken door signifies that something or someone has attempted to enter your life in a way that is not aligned with God's will. A broken door in a dream can also indicate that a spiritual barrier has been compromised. It may represent a breach in your spiritual defense, where the enemy has found a weakness or area of vulnerability. However, just as a broken door signals an attack, it also provides an opportunity for spiritual discernment. It is a call to examine your life, your boundaries, and your spiritual defenses. What areas of your life have you left open to attack? Are there places in your heart or mind where you have allowed the enemy to enter? The broken door is a prompt to fortify those areas with prayer, spiritual discipline, and a renewed commitment to God's purpose. Finally, encountering uncertainty at the door in your dream signifies that you may not be fully ready for what God has planned for you yet. Standing in front of an unfamiliar, mysterious, or half-open door in your dream may indicate that you are unsure of whether to move forward. It's a moment of hesitation, a pause between where you are now and where God is leading you. But this uncertainty is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that God is testing your readiness. Are you prepared to walk through the door when it opens fully? Are you trusting in His timing, or are you trying to rush ahead on your own? This uncertainty at the door is God's invitation to reflect on your spiritual readiness. Sometimes, we are eager to move forward, but we haven't yet developed the faith, character, or strength necessary to fully embrace what God has in store. The door may be open, but God is asking you to wait, to grow, and to prepare so that when you walk through it, you do so with a heart fully aligned with His will. As you dream of doors, take time to reflect on the state of the doors in your life. Whether open, locked, broken, or uncertain, each door holds a message, a call to action, a moment of divine discernment, and an invitation to step into the next chapter of your spiritual journey. The doors in your dreams are not just barriers or entryways. They are divine signposts, leading you toward God's perfect plan. Dreams of babies are some of the most tender and emotional dreams you can experience, but they are also among the most spiritually significant. While many may initially associate a baby with innocence, new life, or motherhood, in the realm of divine dreams, a baby represents something far deeper, a divine deposit, a calling, or a purpose that has been placed within you by God. The baby in your dream is not just a symbol of life, it is a symbol of responsibility. It is a representation of something fragile, sacred, and yet destined for great things. When you dream of a baby, God is drawing your attention to the responsibility you have to nurture, protect, and bring to fruition a divine calling He has entrusted to you. In the spiritual realm, a baby is not simply an infant, it is a seed of potential, a divine gift that has been planted in your life to grow and bear fruit. When you dream of a baby, it is a clear indication that there is something within you, something that God has placed inside you, that needs to be nurtured and developed. This could be a vision, a talent, a purpose, or a calling that has been dormant or undeveloped. Just as a baby requires care, attention, and love to grow, so too does your calling or purpose require your time, energy, and commitment to thrive. The dream of a baby is a reminder that your divine purpose is not just something you are meant to carry. It is something you must actively nurture. It is a sacred responsibility. Much like a parent nurturing a newborn, you are being called to protect and guide the calling that God has given you. This is not something that can be ignored or neglected. It requires your full attention. God has placed this divine deposit within you for a reason, and it is your responsibility to cultivate it into something great, something that will impact the world around you. One of the most poignant dreams you can have involving a baby is the dream of a crying baby. The sound of a baby crying is often associated with distress, discomfort, or a need for attention. Spiritually, when a baby cries in your dream, it is a sign that something in your calling is being neglected or delayed. Just as a crying baby signals the need for care, the crying baby in your dream signals that you are not fully embracing or nurturing the calling that God has placed within you. If you hear the sound of a crying baby in your dream, it may be God's way of telling you that you have delayed taking action on something important. Perhaps you've been hesitant to step into your purpose, or maybe you've been avoiding a responsibility that God has been calling you to embrace. The crying baby is a wake-up call, urging you to act, to step forward, and to take responsibility for what God has entrusted to you. Just as a parent cannot ignore a crying child, you cannot afford to ignore the call of God on your life. The time to act is now, and God is reminding you that your purpose will not thrive unless you respond to it. Another powerful and unsettling dream you may experience is the dream of an abandoned baby. When you dream of a baby who has been left alone, neglected, or abandoned, it is a stark warning about the spiritual responsibilities that you have neglected. The abandoned baby in your dream represents areas of your life where you have turned away from the divine purpose or calling that God has placed within you. Just as an abandoned baby is vulnerable and unprotected, so too is your calling when it is left untended. This dream is a strong message to examine the areas of your life where you may have walked away from your spiritual responsibilities. Perhaps you have allowed fear, doubt, or distractions to prevent you from fully embracing God's plan. Maybe you've neglected a ministry, a relationship, or a calling that God has placed on your heart. The abandoned baby represents what is at risk of being lost or wasted. But this is not just a warning, it is a call to action. God is showing you the urgency of returning to your purpose and taking responsibility for what He has entrusted to you. It is never too late to step back into the work that God has called you to. The abandoned baby in your dream is not a symbol of failure, it is a symbol of redemption. Just as an abandoned child can be nurtured back to health and safety, so too can you return to the calling that God has placed on your life. He is calling you to pick up what you have left behind and to care for it with love and dedication. While many people may associate dreams of babies with motherhood or parenthood, the significance of these dreams goes much deeper. The baby in your dream is not about biological parenthood, it is about spiritual legacy and purpose. It represents something that God has placed within you, a divine seed that has been carefully planted and is ready to grow into something impactful. Your spiritual calling is not something that can be put aside or ignored. It is something that requires your attention, your nurture, and your care. The baby in your dream represents the future. It represents the legacy you are building, the impact you are meant to have on the world. Just as a parent dreams of the future of their child, so too does God dream of the future He has for you. Your calling is not just for today, it is for tomorrow, for the generations to come. The baby is a reminder that what you are nurturing today will bear fruit in the future. Your spiritual legacy will live on through the work you do, the people you impact, and the purpose you fulfill. In this light, the dream of a baby is not just about a new beginning. It is about understanding the responsibility that comes with carrying God's plan. It is about recognizing the value of what you are nurturing and the eternal impact that your faithfulness will have. The baby is a divine gift, a symbol of God's trust in you. And as you nurture it, you are not just fulfilling your own purpose, you are contributing to the greater legacy of the kingdom of God. So, when you dream of a baby, take a moment to reflect on what God is calling you to nurture. What dreams, purposes, or callings have been placed within you that need your care and attention? What divine responsibilities have you been entrusted with that require your nurturing love and dedication? This is the time to recognize and embrace the divine deposit within you, to act on the calling that has been given to you, and to step into the legacy God is preparing you to leave. Dreams of the deceased are often some of the most profound and emotionally charged dreams one can experience. They evoke a sense of nostalgia, grief, and longing, but they also carry a deeper spiritual significance that many fail to recognize. When someone who has passed away visits you in your dreams, it is not merely a fleeting memory or an emotional resurfacing of old feelings. It is a divine communication, a message from beyond the veil that can bring closure, healing, or even prophetic instruction. These dreams are not just about remembering the past, they are about understanding the present and preparing for the future. When the deceased appear in your dreams, it is important to understand that these visitations are not simply random or emotionally charged moments of nostalgia. They are spiritual occurrences, often designed to bring you something you need in your current life, whether that's closure, guidance, or a deeper understanding of something unresolved. While it's easy to interpret dreams of the deceased as nothing more than your mind revisiting old memories, God can use these dreams to speak to you in profound ways, offering insight into your emotional and spiritual state. Dreams of the departed are a way for the divine to bypass our logical minds, reaching directly into our souls. Often, these dreams occur when there is something unresolved in our lives, whether it's grief, regret, or unfinished business. The deceased may appear in your dreams not to stir up sorrow, but to bring a message of peace, to help you reconcile with what was lost, or even to provide the strength to move forward. God sometimes uses the images of those who have passed away to address wounds in your heart, offering comfort and clarity in ways that no one on this earth can provide. Just as in the Bible, where God used dreams to communicate with his people, whether through angels, visions, or even the deceased, our own dreams of departed loved ones can serve as a spiritual vehicle for the messages God desires to impart to us. These dreams may be messages of encouragement, revelation, or even warnings, depending on the context of the dream. They are divine appointments designed to bring you the wisdom and clarity you need at a specific moment in your journey. One of the primary reasons that God uses dreams of the deceased is to bring closure and healing. When someone close to you passes away, it can leave a deep wound that, unless addressed, can continue to affect your life. Dreams of the deceased often occur when it is time for you to process that grief or unresolved emotion. These dreams can provide a sense of peace, allowing you to finally say goodbye or gain closure from a situation that was never fully resolved. For example, you may dream of a loved one who has passed, and in that dream, you experience a conversation or encounter where they offer you comfort, guidance, or forgiveness. This is a divine invitation for you to release any lingering pain or bitterness and to allow God's healing to enter your heart. The deceased may not just appear to remind you of what was lost, but to show you how to move forward, encouraging you to embrace peace and forgiveness, even when it feels impossible. Moreover, dreams of the deceased can also carry prophetic instruction. God may choose to use someone who has passed on to communicate a message you need to hear. Perhaps there is a lesson from their life that you need to apply in your own. Or maybe there is guidance that transcends time and space, offering you insight into a situation or decision you are currently facing. These prophetic dreams can be powerful, offering not just comfort but also direction for your next steps. In these dreams, the deceased often appear with a sense of clarity, as if they are guiding you towards something important, urging you to act or make a change. God uses these dreams as a form of spiritual mentorship, helping you navigate the challenges of life by bringing the wisdom of those who have gone before you. If you feel that a dream with the deceased holds specific meaning or instruction, take time to pray for discernment and guidance, seeking clarity on how to apply the message to your life. While dreams of the deceased can be powerful and deeply meaningful, it is also important to exercise discernment when interpreting these dreams. Not all dreams that involve the departed are divine visitations. Some dreams may be the result of unresolved emotions or even deceptive forces attempting to confuse or mislead you. The enemy is a master of disguise, and just as God can speak to us through dreams, so too can the enemy use dreams to plant confusion, fear, or doubt in our hearts. Discerning whether a dream of the deceased is from God or from a counterfeit source requires careful attention to the emotional and spiritual atmosphere of the dream. If the dream leaves you with peace, clarity, or conviction, it is likely a divine visitation meant to guide you. However, if the dream leaves you feeling anxious, fearful, or confused, it may be a deceptive dream designed to disturb your peace or distract you from your true calling. To avoid being led astray, always seek God's confirmation when interpreting these dreams. Ask Him for clarity and guidance, and compare the message of the dream with the teachings of Scripture. God's voice will never contradict His word, and any message from the deceased should align with the truths of the Bible. The key to understanding the source of a dream lies in the emotions it evokes and the lasting impact it has on you. Dreams of the deceased that are from God will often leave you with a sense of peace, conviction, or clarity. They may challenge you to grow or heal, but they will not lead you into confusion or fear. These dreams will help you confront unresolved issues, offer comfort, and provide the strength to move forward in your faith. On the other hand, dreams that evoke fear, confusion, or a sense of unease may not be from God. The enemy often uses fear and confusion as tools to manipulate and distort God's truth. If a dream of the deceased leaves you feeling uncertain or disturbed, it is important to pray for clarity and protection, asking God to remove any counterfeit messages and to confirm His will in your heart. Ultimately, dreams of the departed are a powerful and sacred form of communication from God. They are meant to bring healing, closure, and guidance, helping you to move forward in your spiritual journey with greater understanding and peace. However, it is crucial to discern the source of these dreams and to seek God's wisdom in interpreting their meaning. When you approach these dreams with prayerful discernment, you open yourself to receive the divine messages that God is eager to reveal to you. Have you ever woken up from a dream where you were falling, your heart racing, your mind panicked, and your body feeling weightless as you plunged into an unknown abyss? Falling dreams are some of the most visceral and unsettling experiences we can have in the dream world. The sensation of losing control, of plummeting into darkness, can evoke fear and uncertainty. Yet, when viewed through a spiritual lens, falling in dreams is not a symbol of failure or disaster. Rather, it carries profound meaning and purpose, signaling a divine reset that, though uncomfortable, is necessary for your spiritual growth and transformation. In the realm of dreams, falling is often a divine metaphor for a necessary separation. It represents a spiritual recalibration, where God is guiding you through a process of shedding the things that no longer serve your true purpose. While the experience may feel chaotic or unsettling, the fall itself is not a punishment. Instead, it is God's mercy at work, gently but firmly removing false foundations, those things in your life that are built on pride, ego, or control. Just as a tree sheds its old leaves in the autumn to make way for new growth, the fall in your dreams symbolizes the removal of what is hindering your progress and spiritual maturity. This divine separation is not meant to harm you but to clear the way for your next season of growth. It is a necessary act of spiritual pruning, a process that allows you to emerge stronger, more grounded, and aligned with God's will. The fall represents a shedding of the old, a letting go of unhealthy attachments and limiting beliefs that have held you back. It is a chance to break free from the things that have kept you tied to past versions of yourself, giving you the freedom to move forward with purpose and clarity. One of the most common reactions to falling in a dream is fear, the fear that you are losing control, the fear that you are heading toward failure. However, this fear is a reflection of how we perceive control in our waking lives. We often cling to false foundations, our pride, our ego, our need for control, because they provide a sense of security. But these foundations are not truly secure. They are fragile and fleeting, unable to withstand the weight of the divine calling that is placed upon our lives. Falling in a dream is God's merciful way of helping you recognize these false foundations and allowing them to fall away. When you fall, it feels like a loss of control, but in reality, it is God stepping in and taking control. The things that we think we need, the walls we've built to protect ourselves, are often the very things that keep us from stepping into the fullness of our purpose. Just as a building must be torn down to make way for a new structure, your old foundation based on pride, self-reliance, or fear is being removed so that you can be rebuilt on a firmer, more solid foundation rooted in God's truth. When you fall in a dream, you are not falling to your destruction, you are being repositioned. Falling is not an end, but a beginning. It represents a shift in your spiritual journey, a resetting of your course. This is a divine realignment, where God is positioning you for greater things, preparing you for a new season that is more in tune with His plan for your life. In the process of falling, God is teaching you how to let go and trust Him. As you descend, you are forced to surrender your control, to embrace vulnerability, and to open your heart to God's leading. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, it is an invitation to grow. Just as an athlete's muscles are stretched and strengthened through resistance, your spirit is being strengthened as you fall. You may feel like you're losing ground, but in reality, you are being positioned for something greater than you can see in the moment. The fall is not a sign that you are being abandoned by God. It is a sign that He is actively working in your life, breaking down the barriers that have kept you from reaching your fullest potential. The very act of falling is a powerful reminder that your path is not yours to control. God is the one who directs your steps, and He will guide you even through the seasons that feel uncertain or difficult. It is easy to equate falling with failure, to believe that when we experience a setback or a loss, we are somehow failing in life. But in the spiritual realm, falling is not failure, it is formation. The fall is a divine act of shaping, of creating space for the new growth that God is bringing into your life. Just as a potter shapes clay on the wheel, God is using the fall to mold you into the person He has called you to be. In fact, many of the most powerful moments of spiritual growth come not from success, but from failure and hardship. It is in the moments when we feel like we are falling that we are often being shaped and refined the most. The fall teaches you how to trust God when you can't see the way forward. It teaches you how to rely on Him, not on your own strength or wisdom. And in the process, you are being formed into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself, one that is better equipped to handle the blessings and challenges that lie ahead. So, the next time you experience the sensation of falling in a dream, do not fear. Understand that it is a divine reset, a repositioning that is designed for your growth. Embrace the fall as an opportunity to let go of old patterns and false foundations, and trust that God is guiding you into a new season of spiritual maturity and purpose. Falling is not the end, it is the beginning of something greater. Through the fall, God is shaping you, forming you, and preparing you for the next step in your divine journey. Have you ever experienced a dream where you felt an undeniable sense of being watched? It's as if your every move was being observed, not by any ordinary person, but by an unseen presence. This unsettling feeling may cause you to wake up with a racing heart, unsure of who or what was watching you. In spiritual terms, dreams of being watched are much more than just a fleeting sensation. They are a divine message, signaling that you are coming into a new level of awareness, one where both the heavenly and earthly realms are taking notice of your life and the calling God has placed upon you. When you dream of being watched, it is a spiritual sign that you are under divine attention. It signifies that your life and actions are no longer unnoticed by the spiritual world. Just as a light in a dark room draws attention, your presence is now being observed by both the heavens and the forces that dwell on earth. This dream does not mean that you are being judged, but rather that you are being acknowledged. Your calling, your journey, and your decisions are all being seen, and it is a confirmation that you are aligned with God's purpose. God's divine attention is not something to fear, it is a sign that He is with you, watching over you as you step into the destiny He has prepared for you. The fact that you are being observed means that you are growing in your spiritual awareness, and that the spirit realm is now taking notice of your spiritual progress. You are no longer moving through life unnoticed. The heavens are paying attention, and so too are the forces that seek to either support or hinder your spiritual journey. As you walk deeper into your purpose, the dream of being watched signifies a shift from being unnoticed to being fully observed. This is not just about an individual noticing you. It's a profound shift in the spiritual realm. You are being seen by both heavenly beings and earthly forces, and this marks a significant point in your spiritual journey. The heavens are watching because God has entrusted you with a unique purpose, and as you step into your divine calling, there is a greater spiritual responsibility placed upon you. The angels are watching over you, guiding you, and assisting you in fulfilling your mission. But it is not just the heavenly realm that is aware of you. The forces of darkness, too, are taking notice. This is a reality that many overlook. The moment you begin to walk in your divine calling, you become a target for spiritual warfare. The enemy will watch you closely, seeking ways to derail your progress or to plant doubt in your heart. But remember, the fact that you are being watched by both realms is a confirmation that you are stepping into the fullness of your calling. The enemy takes notice of those who are becoming a threat to his plans, while the heavenly realm watches over you to protect and guide you. This is not a time to shrink back in fear. It is a time to stand firm, knowing that your actions are aligned with the divine purpose God has for your life. When you are being watched in your dreams, it is a wake-up call to a deeper level of spiritual awareness. As you step into your divine calling, You begin to recognize that your life is not your own. You are part of a greater plan, and every decision you make, every step you take, is being observed by both God and the enemy. This awareness can feel overwhelming at times, but it is also empowering. You are no longer living in ignorance or indifference. The veil is lifting, and you are becoming more conscious of the spiritual forces at work around you. This heightened awareness is a sign that you are growing into the fullness of your spiritual identity. The more you walk in alignment with God's will, the more you will see and understand the spiritual dynamics at play in your life. It is a reminder that you are not walking alone. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses in the heavenly realm, and you are part of God's divine purpose. As you become more aware of the spiritual realm, it's important to recognize that this awareness comes with responsibility. You are called to discern what is of God and what is of the enemy. You are called to stand firm in your faith, to remain steadfast in your convictions, and to continue moving forward with purpose, knowing that your steps are being observed by forces beyond what you can see. When the dream of being watched occurs, it is not just a reminder that you are being observed. It is a call to stand firm in the face of both divine and spiritual scrutiny. The enemy may seek to undermine you, to distract you, or to discourage you, but God has placed you under His watchful care. The fact that you are being observed by both realms means that you are a key player in the spiritual battle, and your actions will have consequences that ripple through the unseen world. Standing firm is crucial. It is easy to be swayed by the opinions of others, to be shaken by criticism, or to become afraid when you sense that forces beyond your understanding are watching you. But the dream is a call to stand strong in your identity and purpose. You are not being watched to be condemned or scrutinized. You are being watched because you are a vessel of divine purpose. The heavens are rooting for you, and the enemy is observing you because you are a threat to his kingdom. When you stand firm, you are declaring that you will not be moved by fear or intimidation. You will not allow the enemy's schemes to cause you to shrink back from the path that God has set before you. Instead, you will embrace the attention of the spiritual realm as a sign that you are walking in your divine calling and fulfilling the purpose that God has placed within you. The more you stand firm, the more you will grow in spiritual authority, and the more you will see God's power manifest in your life. As you continue to dream and walk through this season, remember that being watched is a sign of divine importance. The attention of both the heavens and the earth confirms that you are on the right path, and that God's hand is guiding you every step of the way. Stand firm, be bold, and trust that the spiritual realm is aligning with your purpose to bring forth the fullness of God's plan for your life. As we come to the end of our journey through the dreams that speak to your soul, I want to leave you with this powerful truth. These dreams you experience are not just random occurrences. They are not meaningless or coincidental moments of your mind wandering during the night. They are divine instructions, carefully crafted messages from God, guiding you step by step toward the destiny He has prepared for you. These dreams are not simply reflections of your subconscious. They are spiritual blueprints designed to shape you, direct you, and awaken the divine purpose that lies within you. Emphasizing that these dreams are not just random occurrences, but spiritual instructions guiding you towards your destiny. Each dream you've had, whether it was filled with water, serpents, doors, babies, the departed, or even the sensation of falling, carries profound meaning and purpose. These are not random thoughts or insignificant images. These dreams are windows into your spiritual journey, showing you the areas where God is moving, the places where He is guiding you, and the changes He is bringing into your life. Through these dreams, God is communicating with you, preparing you for the next step in your spiritual growth, and unveiling the deeper truths about your purpose. In the Bible, God often spoke to His people through dreams and visions. Joseph's dreams led him from a pit of despair to a position of great influence. Daniel's visions guided him to understand the mysteries of the future. Just like Joseph, Daniel, and many others, your dreams are a divine language that reveals God's plan for your life. They are not meaningless fragments of imagination. They are spiritual messages meant to direct your path and guide your steps. When you dream, God is speaking, and He is waiting for you to listen, understand, and act. encouraging viewers to view their dreams as divine blueprints meant to activate their spiritual growth. It's easy to overlook the significance of our dreams, especially when they feel confusing or unsettling. But when we view our dreams as divine blueprints, we open ourselves to a new level of spiritual understanding. These dreams are not meant to cause fear, they are meant to activate your spiritual growth. Each dream is a step in your divine training, a chance for you to become more attuned to God's voice and His plans for your life. When you dream, God is inviting you to step into the fullness of your spiritual potential. Just as an architect follows a blueprint to build a structure, you are following God's divine plan laid out in your dreams. Every symbol, every image, every message carries with it the potential to shape you into the person God has called you to be. You are not just receiving information, you are receiving activation. These dreams are not just invitations to reflect, they are invitations to grow, to change, and to step into the destiny God has set before you. Invitation to approach each night with expectation and purpose, knowing God is speaking even while you sleep. Now, I want to encourage you to approach each night with expectation and purpose. Your dreams are not just the random thoughts of a tired mind. They are spiritual encounters that carry divine significance. When you lie down to sleep, know that God is speaking to you in ways that your waking mind may not always understand. But that doesn't mean His message isn't powerful. You don't need to fear or dread what your dreams might bring. Instead, approach them with an open heart, ready to receive whatever God has to show you. Before you close your eyes each night, take a moment to invite God to speak to you through your dreams. Ask Him to reveal His will for your life, to guide you in areas where you need clarity, and to strengthen your spirit through the messages He has for you. Approach your sleep with the understanding that God is actively working in your life, even while you rest. Trust that He will use your dreams to bring you closer to your purpose and to the fullness of your calling. In closing, I want to leave you with this. Your dreams are not just passive occurrences, they are active guides leading you to your destiny. As you begin to recognize and understand the messages in your dreams, you will start to see the divine connections, the calls to action, and the invitations to move forward in faith. You are not wandering aimlessly through life. You are walking a path that has been carefully laid out for you, and your dreams are the signs along the way. Walk boldly in your calling, knowing that God is with you every step of the journey. He is guiding you, even in your sleep, and He will continue to lead you toward the purpose He has for your life. Do not shy away from the messages He sends you in your dreams. Instead, embrace them as part of your spiritual awakening. Trust that God is preparing you for something great, and that every dream you experience is one more step toward the fulfillment of your destiny. As you move forward, know this. Your dreams are not just dreams, they are divine revelations. They are the keys to unlocking the full potential of your life, and they are guiding you toward the greatness that God has already prepared for you. Walk confidently, knowing that God is speaking to you through every dream, and that your destiny is unfolding before you.